Hello, it's Lynn Watts here again with Wyatt the Wonder Dog books. And today I want to talk with you about the book Wyatt the Wonder Dog Learns About Giving. And I'll also be talking about the Stories to Learn by book of lesson plans and how you can use this book in all of the grade levels. This book is, of course, set around the holidays. So it is a perfect book to start talking about generosity and about how even young children can be givers, not getters. In other words, many times the holiday season becomes one where kids are constantly thinking about what do they want to get for Christmas and or for the holidays, and it's a great time to kind of redirect that thought and start talking about how can you be someone who is a giver and how can you be generous toward other people. So in the story, of course, Wyatt is pretty focused on what he is going to get for the holiday. And his mother challenges him to look for ways that he can be generous. Part of the book focuses on the idea that being generous doesn't just mean giving a thing, but it can also mean giving your time, giving your attention, allowing somebody else to go first, helping someone out, all these different ways that we can be of service to others. Of course, once you read the book, you're going to want to think about how you can incorporate that into a lesson. Like all of the books, there are discussion questions in the back and an activity to do, but the Stories to Learn by book helps you extend that even more. It's a good story to read, especially if, as a school, perhaps you're doing some kind of food drive or gifts for others, or maybe a coat drive, or there are just all kinds of ways that schools can get involved in being generous to the community and to help out not just kids at school, but perhaps the community as a whole, and being a powerful, important impact in that way. So just like all of the sections in this book, the lesson plan is aligned with ASCA standards. There's objectives, there's questions, the materials. And then one of the things that I did with older kids in terms of the idea of generosity and being a person of service was I helped them think about other well-known famous people who have given lives of service. For instance, Florence Nightingale comes to mind, Nelson Mandela, Martin Luther King Jr. So there are lots of examples. And what I would do with an older grade, and in particular, if you are part of a where you are seeing a class or a grade level on a very regular basis, I divided them up into groups. I checked out lots of biographies out of the library at school about these different people. And then I had them work as a group to come up with a report about a particular person and how they had a life of service. So there's a lot of questions in here. I even found somebody who was currently giving a life of service and having kids write letters to that person. And some of the people wrote back, and the kids were kind of excited that they were able to write to somebody who was doing great things in the world and, helping to make the world a better place. And then they wrote letters and they heard back from that person. So you could even do something like that to really get older kids involved in seeing how they can have an impact in the community and how other people are doing that. There's also a section on coupons that kids can make for parents or friends or really anybody. And as always, there is a assessment, a word search, discussion questions, coloring sheets, lots of other things you can do with the really younger kids to extend the lesson. So I would really recommend the uh, Stories to Learn by combo pack, where you get all 9 of the Wyatt books. That gives you a book a month that you can focus on as a theme. You can use the giving book during the holiday season and the other books during other months of the year. Use the Stories to Learn by to give you lots of great ideas for lesson plans. And the combo pack comes along with the Wyatt the Wonder Dog puppet, which of course is a great asset for the little kids and helping them get involved in the story. You could easily use the puppet, have him. Wyatt could have kids come up one at a time, that you could have some puppets that they could use, and they could talk about how they are going to be generous towards other people during this season and what that means to them. So, lots of different ways that you can incorporate the idea of generosity and giving and into lessons that will benefit kids year round. So, as always, thanks for all you do to benefit children and to improve their lives. And thanks again for listening.